This episode of Old Roommates was made possible by listeners like you and our special Patreon member, Matt Walsh. Thank you for your support and enjoy the episode. Hey everyone, it's Old Roommates, and guess what? It's my birthday!
Woo!
Almost. And with that, I have my choice of movies, and this week on the show, we are revisiting French Kiss, a movie that I love and Brian has never seen. So, let's listen in and see what Brian's take is on it.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Old Roommates, the only podcast that revisits pop culture through a middle-aged lens. This is Brian.
And this is Christina.
And today we are discussing French Kiss, the 1995 Lawrence Kasdan film starring Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. Christina, it was her pick. I have never seen this film. If you recall, famously on this podcast, when it's our birthday, we force the other person to watch another movie.
Like it or not.
A movie they've never seen
like
before.
Like it or not.
The idea being, though, is that, like, you would like this movie because you also have to rewatch it.
Yes.
And I watched it for the first time. So I did that with you with,
and you're watching
with Moonstruck in February. So
yeah, exactly.
Christina, I don't have a then. Mm-hmm. So this was released 5/5/5. So May 5th, 1995.
Interesting.
Let's hear it.
So I rented this movie. This was one of those movies I found in the video store when I was working in the video store. Mm-hmm. And I instantly loved this movie. And I've watched it several times since. It's been a long, long time, aside from this, obviously.
Yeah.
This rewatch. But I watched it several times. It's one of those movies I wanted people to watch with me. Mm-hmm. I just really enjoyed how it was a little bit different for me. So I'm going to say it. I'm not... Okay. I got to be careful. I'm not a huge Meg Ryan fan. I liked her in When Harry Met Sally.
Did you hear that? It's like half our listeners just clicked over to another podcast.
No, I loved her in When Harry Met Sally, but I feel like a lot of Meg Ryan's movies are a lot of the same Meg Ryan. There are a couple of exceptions, but this, and I like her. She's pleasant. It's just, she's not a Julia Roberts, I'll tell you that, right?
What do you mean by that?
Like, I don't like Julia Roberts. But here's the thing. I like Meg Ryan. I like her. She's pleasant, but I always feel like she's playing a very similar character in all of her movies, aside from a couple. And when I watched this movie, and I will say I am a huge Kevin Kline fan. So when I watched this movie, I was pleasantly surprised. There are certainly a lot of Meg Ryan-ishness about her, but I did feel like she was a bit different than the roles that she normally played. And that's one of the reasons why I really liked this movie, because she did try a few new things, some physical comedy and things like that. And I appreciated that. And I also I really like movies that kind of go on location. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those movies. I actually don't know if it's actually on location. I think it might have been. It seemed like it was. I never noticed. I never did any research that it did or not. But I like those kind of movies. And so, yeah, I just really, it just always left me with a happy feeling.
Nice.
After watching this movie. So, I'm going to toss the mic over to you, Brian. What were your initial impressions about this movie?
So here's what's funny. Lawrence Kasdan is one of my favorite directors. Mm-hmm. He's done Body Heat. He did Accidental Tourist. He did Grand Canyon. I'm sure a lot of people that are listening are like, you like The Accidental Tourist? But I did. And I actually really liked Grand Canyon. But Lawrence Kasdan wrote The Bodyguard. His first screenplay, remember this? It was The Bodyguard, but it didn't get made till many years later. So I liked Lawrence Kasdan's work. I what's funny, Christina, is that you love this movie, and you know who else did is Ruth, who we used to work with at Jordan's.
Sure.
This was one of Ruth's favorite movies. I remember that. So
this movie has a pretty strong fan base.
So when we picked our favorite Valentine's Eve rom-coms, you put this on Instagram, and it's like one of our most popular posts. Mm-hmm. So people love this movie. So here's my big thing, like right off the bat, is like, oh, Timothy Hutton's in this, which Timothy Hutton's in one of my favorite movies, Ordinary People. He won the Oscar for that. But Meg Ryan and Timothy Hutton were also in another movie. And that's what I was like, wait a minute, is this the thing where... So, there's a movie called Sirius Moonlight.
Oh my gosh.
From 2009. Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm directed it.
Oh my... I've never heard of this movie.
Well, there's probably a reason for that. So, the movie made about $10 at the box office. And it was really hated. So, basically, the gist is, tell me if this sounds familiar. Timothy Hutton's character decides to leave his wife for another woman.
Okay.
Meg Ryan behaves accordingly by tying him to a chair.
Oh, God.
And doing a whole spiel for the movie to convince him how much he loves her.
Wow.
Is that messed up?
That's very strange.
It's the same actors, and like she looks very different in Sirius Moonlight. Her hair's crazy long, but
was it a drama, comedy? Like,
it's like a weird. It's called a love hate romantic comedy or something, or a love hate comedy or whatever. Okay. So I think it was aiming to be like a sort of dark romantic comedy.
Okay.
But I believe he stays tied to the chair the entire movie, and she's
weird.
And I don't know. I'm not surprised it didn't do well. I think. Yeah. I don't know if I want to see 90 minutes of that. But I think the girl he's going to leave her for is Kristen Bell. So I've never seen this movie.
When was this movie? In the 90s?
2009.
Oh, 2009.
Yeah. Anyway, so it didn't do well.
Okay.
So Meg, my first take is, of course, opens with the flight simulator.
Yes.
But here's my weird note. I was like, oh my God, all I'm seeing, and I don't know why, is Diane Keaton.
Oh, that's weird.
And I'm like, oh my God, I want this to be Diane Keaton. I feel like you talked about the physicality, and I think Diane Keaton has done similar roles to this, like the uptight, unraveling, damsel, but like rom-com-y damsel in distress goofball. And I don't know if it comes as naturally to Meg. I think she's almost too, not sophisticated, because Diane Keaton's sophisticated, but it's like there's something a little too knowing about Meg Ryan. She has those looks sometimes. She had them in Sleepless in Seattle.
She did.
Which we revisited recently, and she has them in this one too, where like she always seems a little bit ahead, just a little bit ahead of the other character in the scene. And I think, and so some of the physical comedy stuff I struggled with. That's my first note. I did write that she's a lot. I did think it was funny when she was, she's, very OCD, which they don't really say that, but she's like Q-tip cleaning the keyboard, and she's very particular, and, but I just wrote, Kate's a lot, it's a lot.
And that's at the beginning of the movie.
That's the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she mellows out towards
yes.
Yeah.
Should I keep going or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you really do? Okay, you want me to?
Well, if you want. I mean,
okay.
It seems like you were on a roll.
And then Kevin Kline enters the picture, who was originally supposed to be Gerard Depardieu, but Gerard Depardieu could not get the time. The scheduling didn't work. And so, by the way, like, all the stuff was already done, like, ordered. Like, everyone was ready. I'm sorry, my cup is jingling.
Jingling.
But Kevin Kline stepped in, like, kind of at the last minute. And I think he nails it. I did not find him offensive. Meaning, if I was French, I would not find him offensive. Like, he is so charming and funny. And to me, it elevated everything else about the movie. I think Meg Ryan, and I don't mean her character, I mean her acting. Like, I think he gave her a lot to work with as an actor, if that makes sense. Like, it's not her character. It's like you kind of see them sparring. And that's when Meg Ryan, I think, is really good in this.
Yes, and I think their chemistry is amazing. Not quite as good as Billy Crystal and her, but I think better than Tom Hanks and her.
I agree with that.
I think that they have really, really good chemistry.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Kline makes the movie. If it was Gerard, I don't think I would have even. I mean, I can't really... I don't know. I don't think I would have liked it as much, to be honest. Because Gerard, I like him, but he's not funny. Like, he's not naturally...
see, that's so funny. I would say actually the opposite. I think he is naturally funny. But
really?
I don't think... I do, but I don't think Gerard Depardieu can be in, like scriptedly funny. Mm-hmm. And I think Kevin Kline, this is a lot of it's in the script. And
nice, Brian.
It's my friend Scam calling.
Oh, yeah.
That's Mr. Scam likely.
Mr. Scam, he calls you a lot.
He does. So, sorry about that, everyone. But, so, I think about, I think about Green Card.
Yes.
Gerard Depardieu's big American.
Movies.
I love that movie. And so much of his humor in that movie are like facial expressions and like his natural charm and like just like his little like inflections and physicality. It's not really in the script. And therefore my mind immediately went to, oh my God, Diane Keaton and Gerard Depardieu would be so friggin' cute together. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that would be cute together.
So I will say, if Meg was someone different, I think Gerard Depardieu would have worked. I think Meg Ryan and Gerard Depardieu would not have worked.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But that's. I'm sorry. I think we agree with that. Yeah.
Yes. What were we saying?
Kevin Kline, Gerard Depardieu. Kevin Kline makes the movie.
Yes, he absolutely does. I honestly I just love Kevin Kline so much, and at some point we should revisit A Fish Called Wanda.
Yes.
We've talked about that before. And I will say, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in A Fish Called Wanda, he did a lot of improv. Like, a lot of that stuff that he does in that movie, they said, just do it.
Wow.
And he does it, and he does it flawlessly. And I wonder how much of that they did in this movie. I don't know.
I mean, it was several years later, this one, from Fish Called Wanda, right? Because Fish Called Wanda is like, what, 87?
Oh, was it 87?
87, 88. I'll look it up. But, he won the Oscar for that, Fish Called Wanda, which is so unheard of for someone to win an Oscar for comedy. I mean,
Crazy.
I think, it's like Marissa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny and, like, him. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember other, like, true comedic performances that have won Oscars.
Shakespeare in Love, but I don't know about the actors. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So moving on. So my initial thought was I completely forgot about the first scene. About in the plane. I thought that was really funny. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I don't know if it was necessary. Like, nope. I feel like it kind of takes away from the movie with her doing that weird, crazy scene.
You know what? I just agreed with you, and I'm going to disagree with you. I think it's needed because we have to see her really struggling to not fly. That's the whole thing. She doesn't want to fly.
I think it could have been done a different way. A flight simulator? Who has
Because
those?
she's trying, Christina. I can't believe I'm defending Meg Ryan right now. Her character. She's really trying. She intends to go on this trip, but she just can't.
I don't know. I guess. I just didn't love that first scene, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
here's the thing.
Otherwise, well, that's ridiculous.
But
that's why I think Dan Keaton would have done a better job with that stuff. But I will say this. Not that she was up for the running, but I'm just saying. That's why I think it doesn't work for Meg Ryan, the Meg Ryan we know by this point. I think sometimes people's like real life personas, like, that's why I struggle watching Angelina Jolie movies. I can't not see her just being Angelina Jolie. Meg Ryan has like a similar issue, I think, where it's like, she just seems too smart for this like nonsense of the simulator. At the same time, I think it's needed because we have to see her trying, at least. Because when she says to Timothy Hutton, when she's like, oh God, I hate flying. Like, we need to see what she means. It's not enough to say that. A lot of people hate flying, but wow, she really can't handle it. She broke the machine. Yeah,
I think they could have done it a different way. Okay. Rather than the simulator.
All right.
Because, I don't know. That's all. That's my thought. Timothy Hutton, his character, I forget his name. I can't stand him from the second. Like, even
when he's being nice.
Even when he's being nice. There's just something about him I just didn't like.
But did you know the plot when you watched it? Like, were you expecting, like, oh, I shouldn't like him because I know something bad's going to happen?
I think the whole... You know what killed me about that whole thing is this when he says, my whole life is passing before me, and we haven't even had children yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like and actually it's the relationship itself I don't like anyway. She's had, how much, $45,000 in a nest egg, and she's now just telling him this? Like, surprise, I have $45,000. This never came up in the whole time that they're dating. She's so...
Do you know if your husband has a little secret nest egg?
I know everything about that man.
So you don't know everything.
Don't you watch The Real Housewives? Before you get engaged, I mean, they're obviously living together.
Yeah.
Before you're living together, you know each other's finance situation. That's part of the conversation. Like, how much are we going to afford? What kind of house do we want? Things like that. That's the kind of conversation you have when you get serious with somebody.
I want to be honest with you. I think I respectfully disagree. I think everyone is different. I was actually fine with that. I really was.
Really?
Here's why. So when I left a company in New York, there was a bit of money in this thing. So I was a very early on hiree, and just through osmosis, this amount of money looked very, very, very good. I didn't need it until we bought the house, and then I shared. I have this money from this other job I worked at that's going to go towards my half of this down payment. Because it's like, we have this, I mean, getting too personal, but we have the shared house fund, then we have our own money too. I don't think you should have, me personally, I don't think people should have all their money in one place as like a joint account. I think that's a little dangerous. And I think like and Carl and I both agree, like we have our separate money and then we have the house money.
We have our separate money as well.
Cool. But so then do you know how much Matt has in his separate money?
I know it's not $45,000.
By the way, I don't mean to make this personal.
No.
But I'm saying like I bought this. I don't think every couple knows every single thing. If Carl was struggling, and I'm not going to be like, oh, wow, that sucks. Of course, I would be like, well, honey, you know what? I actually have some money here. Like, and I would, let's get over this hump. So, I just don't think, I actually bought into this. I didn't find it that bizarre.
I found it to be a little bizarre for people who are about to get married to not have that.
But they don't own a house.
No, not yet.
Okay. So sometimes they that's right, that's the whole point. So I think that's but
they're probably, knowing her, they're probably planning a big wedding. You need to have a conversation about finances before you get married. So anyway, that's...
I don't know. I think...
Agree to disagree.
Maybe that'll be a question. Maybe we'll ask that on Instagram or something.
There you go.
But it's like, do you need to know? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
And what I mean by that, really quick, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry I keep telling this. But what I mean by that is, I'm not talking about your monthly income, or your whatever. I'm not talking about your salary. I'm talking about that special
Swiss
rainy
bank
day.
account.
Swiss bank account. I'm talking about your little secret rainy day, your little rainy day fund. I don't know. I don't think, when Carl's kind of been together 21 years, it's like, I don't think he's always needed to know he even had one until the house happens, and that's what happens in this movie.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my take. That's all.
Good job. Good job getting that last word in, Brian.
Oh my God! I bet there's people that seem to agree with you, some agree with me.
No, I get it. Yeah. It's probably very different.
It's fine. And by the way, really well.
Oh my God.
No, listen. I'm dropping the conversation. We're 2-0 right now. I have defended this movie twice. Oh my God. And it's your pick.
No, and I'm
hilarious.
Just saying, yes,
right,
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's not a rank. I'm not ranking on the movie. I'm ranking on this character.
You should have said I'm not ranking you. I'm ranking on you.
And I'm ranking on you. No, it's the character, and that's the relationship. I just didn't like the relationship.
Yeah.
I did find it funny that she was so comfortable. Like, she's calling his mother Mom, and his sisters are her sisters. Like, you can see how comfortable she is in that world. But I just didn't really love him and her together.
It's funny. I feel like they had 2 scenes together.
Yeah.
I think, you know what it is? For me, so we're really going to dive in, because this is going to, create a jump. So it's clear, because she says maybe you can borrow some money from your parents for your part of the down payment, right? And he does mention that thing about the kids and all that. So you get a sense like he's feeling a little trapped.
Yes.
Like suddenly his life is being decided for him. You see an expression on his face that is like, this is not a good look.
Yes.
and all of that. And so I think it kind of gives him a jolt. And then, you know, he has this midlife crisis and takes off. And but my real question is, where is this money suddenly coming from? This I'm going to go live in France for a bit with my mistress. Where's that money coming from if he doesn't have it? I was puzzled by that. But it's like that communication thing. But I don't know.
Maybe he's using all the money he was saving for the wedding.
Ooh.
Well, because now he's engaged to this other.
They don't talk about this, do they? Do they talk about? Did he take out his part of the house or anything like that?
No, he hasn't.
I'm trying to remember now. Okay. Anyway, that's my little note there. And then
so we're introduced to Kevin Kline.
Love him
from the second he walks in. I love that she's sitting in the plane and she sees him coming and she's just like, oh God, no. Like, she's just so pissed that he's going to be sitting next to her.
And I don't disagree.
I don't disagree either. He's
causing
smelly,
trouble. He's being rude to the hostess.
Loud.
He'd be thrown off. In this day and age, he would have been thrown right off.
Oh, easily. Like, oh yeah, he's yelling, arguing, and all that kind of stuff. But he sits down, he's charming, and then I just love him so much. Every scene of him, I love him.
And I will say, as much as Meg Ryan's character annoys me at times in this, I think what's good is that, because she is kind of annoying, like even in that flight scene, I wrote, okay, Meg, she's raising her voice a lot, and she's making crazy facial expressions. Yes. And I said, just pick one. Just pick one. We don't need both, because you look a little unhinged. I know you're nervous about the flight, but that's a lot. And I don't think
she loves working her eyebrows. She's all about the eyebrows.
But you know why? Because if she was behaving that way, a flight attendant would have walked. Flight attendant would have walked over and said something to her. And I think they probably would have said, like, Miss, you need to exit the plane. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just too much behavior for like a regular person. I did laugh out loud when she's like, "My flower is none of your business."
Yeah.
And I just found that to be so funny because I like that he was so upfront and intense right off the bat.
Yes.
Because that way the rest of the movie just flows. Like, who he is
right then and there.
Yeah, he's not.
There's no pretending.
Yeah.
And that argument seemed pretty, because she's already upset and anxious about the flight. So the argument about, her being uptight was funny, and then of course it's like, oh, isn't he sweet, trying to distract her from the flying.
Yeah. Right? I did think when they cut outside the plane that suddenly the plane was just going to land and she was finally going to finish talking. That would have been
I thought that was odd. I thought that was an odd flight. I liked it, but I thought it was odd for them to do that flight.
Well, you know why? Because you already know. Oh my God, defending it again.
Good, I'm glad.
Because you know what she's saying.
Yeah.
Because you know this character.
You don't have to,
you don't have to listen to her again.
Yeah. And then you have a little bit of mystery with him.
Yeah.
Going to the bathroom, and you think it's drugs or something, right? You're not sure what's happening.
Yeah.
And then you find out he has this necklace. And you don't find out until later that he actually, the plant is something that's meaningful to him as well. Right. You think it's just sort of like something that's to disguise the necklace.
When he went to the bathroom and there was something else happening, I was glad. Because I truly was like, oh my God, this is a buddy rom-com where they fall in love at the end, and his whole point is to help her get back to him and use this Frenchness to win him back. But it's like, oh no, there's this whole other plot where I'm like, oh, thank God there's something else going on in this movie.
And that's one of the reasons why I really love this movie. There's a lot of different things going on, and it always kept me interested. Even rewatching it, I forgot a few things. I was refreshed. I almost forgot about his cop friend, which is a little convenient how he pops up here and there, but I forgot about that. I'm like, oh, that's right, he's there. And oh yeah, and then the other little sleazy...
Again, from the lobby.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. And I love her interactions with the guy at the hotel.
Yes.
So funny to me. Just, there's so many different parts of it that keep me, I'm not going to say we, I'm going to say kept me engaged in this movie and really enjoying it. And it moved on at a pretty decent clip, I thought.
If we're really jumping in, there were moments where I was a little bored. Okay. That's my only real true negative is I feel like just because I feel like the scene before it was too much, and then the following scene was and I do think We'll get to that. But really quick about the plane. I liked when she... And, oh my God, I almost gagged. But I love that what his response was, because I was like, oh shit, she's doing the Meg Ryan thing. Because she's
God.
do you believe in the kind of love that lasts forever?
Oh, God,
Which
yeah.
you would never ask a total stranger.
No.
And he's like, remember his response? That's a little girl question. I was like, yes!
Oh, yes,
He
yes,
said,
yes,
that's
yes.
a little girl question. And I was back with this movie again. Because I like that he's not going to tolerate the Meg Ryan
No, and that's what's so
treatment.
great. Yeah, it's like he just doesn't... And maybe that's why I like her character in this, because no one's buying into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's part of it.
He also, he just really lays it on when he says, and I think it's really good when he says, so he humiliated you, and now you are chasing him here so he can humiliate you again, only now to your face.
Yes. And I love, actually, further down, where she's like, again, it's like an argument about that, when he's like, so you're going to be begging him at his feet, and she's going to be standing there. Ooh, tough choice. Like,
Right. Like the beautiful bombshell standing next to him. And, and
gorgeous
woman,
young French
groveling
woman.
on the ground.
Tough choice.
I do like when he says, when someone tells me they are happy, my ass begins to twitch. It's really funny.
And his accent through this whole movie is amazing to me. Loved his accent. And I know you're an accent guy. I'm wondering.
No, I liked it. I said
Did you like it?
I said his accent wasn't offensive. I said if I was French, I don't think I'd be offended. I think it's a actually very good accent. I think the humor from him comes from his wildness.
Yes.
And his exaggerations. I don't think it comes from the accent. Which
right. It's not like a caricature
that's right.
of a French man.
That is the right choice. Big negative for me. My first big negative is she finds out that all of her clothes were thrown away and all of her stuff. And here is her dialogue. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Swirling around.
Yeah.
None of it felt true.
Right.
None of it felt real. None of it felt true. I mean, especially for her character. Like, I think
you would think that she would be more interested in her stuff.
So that didn't feel right to me.
I did like the fact that they, get in this fight, and he gives her the money. He's like, this is the money that he got, which isn't true. But here's the money that he got for your clothes.
Yeah.
And she throws it at him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want your money. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Go away. And she, storms off. And I like the fact that she turns around and comes and gets the money. Yeah. That seems true. Yeah. Because that's definitely something I would do.
And it spoke to his character because he didn't go back for it.
Right. Yeah. Right. He just keeps going.
We need to talk about the kiss on the train.
This is one of my negatives.
Yeah, this didn't age well. I don't even know how it was in '95.
No, even back then, I did not like this. I did not like it at all. I forgot about the scene until I saw it again. I was like, oh damn, I forgot about this. Not necessary. Really creepy and gross.
Yeah, let's explain what's happening. So Meg Ryan has fallen asleep. Is she's taking a drug or no? She's taking some sort of pill.
I don't think she did. Okay. Did she?
Or did she drink? I'm trying to remember because it wasn't just sleepy. It was something else. Maybe she jet lagged, but she's laying down. She's falling asleep.
She might have been drinking.
He's trying to get something out of her bag.
Yes, he's trying to get the plant out of her bag.
She is using her bag as a pillow, so he has to reach around her.
Which, by the way, just another side note, I do love that she still doesn't trust him. And there's plenty of times where she has her eye on him. Even though he's charming, even though he's saying that he's going to help her and all this kind of stuff, she still does not leave her bag unattended.
Yeah.
And I liked that a lot about her and her character. That felt true. Continue on with the scene.
So
they're on a train.
Yeah, he's reaching sort of around her neck into her bag to get his stuff. And she is waking up, but not waking up. And she's sleeping and dreaming and sleeping and dreaming. And then is she dreaming about Edward?
She never Charlie.
Charlie.
She never says what she's actually dreaming of, but she does say the word Charlie.
Charlie.
She says, Charlie.
And she goes to kiss Charlie in her dream, but wouldn't you know it, he's there. What is his name?
Luc.
And she he and she kiss while she is sleeping and thinking she is kissing Charlie in her dream.
Yes.
This is not a great scene.
No.
I even wrote, the music is awful. The music is way too much for this sleepy kiss because it, like, for the filmmakers, it actually means something more.
Mm-hmm.
Where this is like, wait, no. You can't have it both ways. Either she's asleep and this is a mistake and it's like sloppy comedy, or you think this kiss means something between them.
Right.
It might mean something to him, but she's not even aware it's him. So
right.
which is it? Right. I didn't like the scene at all.
I did not like that either. I didn't like it back then. I don't like it now. They've done this in, like, Days of Our Lives several times. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I would never be able to kiss somebody and not know who I'm kissing. Mm-hmm. First of all, and that's assuming that this guy has similar facial features and, similar, structure or whatever. Kevin Kline's character, Luc, he has a beard and a mustache, or at least rough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So she would know. That's a good point.
Yeah. Charlie does not have any of that.
Yeah.
Luc smokes. Charlie does not. Luc probably smells a lot different. There's so many different things that are different from Luc and Charlie that she should have known right away that she was kissing him. She should not have kissed him. She should have snuggled up to him.
Yeah. And
then he could have had that, like, ooh, I'm
I'll
feeling
just
something.
Sit here. Yeah.
And, he could have just sat there or whatever and felt something. He would have been that same... You could have had that same reaction, although I felt his reaction was a bit too much, too.
Yep.
When he crawls over and it's almost like he's afraid. He has, like, this, like, little boy afraid kind of look. I'm like, bad direction... Bad idea altogether.
There were a couple of times, too, where it's like, I think, and I know she was being protective of her stuff, but, like, where he could have just grabbed her bag, been like, send your bag for a second, and just grab it. Like, because they had that sort of rough relationship where I was like, why didn't he really could just grab the bag, be like, listen, there is something else going on.
Right.
I'll tell you if you can give me your pocketbook, it's hidden somewhere in the bag. But then it really isn't, it's actually around her neck.
Eventually. I don't think it's always around her neck.
Okay.
I think at that point she's not. And I was actually looking at it a little more carefully this time around because I was watching her neckline and it wasn't. I think it's after when, obviously, okay, so he's looking for it while they're at the villa at his hometown, So and it's not there. So it's somewhere between the train and there that she puts it on. But I think it's when she's at the villa when she actually puts it on. I really do feel like that's when she finds it. Mm-hmm. Because then she leaves her bag. Like, it's kind of unattended. Like, all of a sudden she's not caring too much about her bag.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's somewhere in between those two times. But that's supposed to be maybe the turning point for him when he kisses her. And now all of a sudden he's on her side and he likes her and all that kind of stuff. So he's not going to try to steal this plant back. So I don't know. It was a bit much for me. I didn't like it. I did like their relationship. Yeah. But I didn't like that scene.
Next note is also negative. I just wrote, I don't like her personality. There's, on the train when she truly goes from, and of course I understand why, but it's like, I love this country. She's like walking in the street. Yeah. I love this country. Oh my God, I love this country. It's like, okay, I don't know if that's quite your character, but she, gives her
beautiful.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And then she's like, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm like, is she drunk? Like, this isn't really her.
It was very strange. And I think it was because, again, we know why they're doing it, because she has to like the country if she's going to end up eventually wanting to live there. Right. But it could have been a little more subtle.
Also similar to when she's in the car in the train. Yep. And she's like, oh, the mucus. Oh, the mucus. Yeah. And then she's like, and then she screams in a train with people everywhere. Lactose intolerant.
Yeah, that was too much.
As the train chugs down the track.
I agree.
I can't even believe Meg Ryan was like, yeah, I'll yell those lines. I'll yell those words.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievable. It's just not. It's not even funny. And I don't know if that's because 2021 everyone's lactose intolerant. Yeah. Like maybe this would have been a little more original. Would you remember the first time you saw this movie?
No, I remember being annoyed by that even back then.
Good. Yes. Yeah. It isn't, because again, it's like the train, it's like the plane behavior. You don't behave, she doesn't know how to behave in public.
It's unnatural.
It's similar, Christina, to Pretty Woman when she's hucking up the gum on the sidewalk.
God, exactly, yes.
Yep, not okay. Not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay.
There's another thing, too. We didn't really talk too much about her trying to get her passport and getting it all rejected and all that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I kind of liked that. I liked that whole scene. I liked the Canadian. He's so nice and he rejects it anyway and all that. And I liked her phone call to
yes, the mom
to the
and
mom
the daughter.
and
the sister.
The sister. She's like, ask Mom where he's staying. Da da da. Like that was really good.
Mom,
and she's like,
I'm gonna get him.
She goes, "Are you still supposed to be calling her Mom?" I always laughed at that one. But then the one part that I had a little bit of a problem with was, it's okay. She goes, "It's okay. It's a free country, isn't it?" Do you remember what her occupation is?
Oh shit! What is that?
She's a history teacher.
Oh my god.
That bothered me.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. We can hop back.
No, it's okay. Those are really good notes. I did like the phone call as well. I liked her crying because I feel like that's actually really good because it's like, is it comedy? Like it's like that fine line of comedy and drama where it's like they're like towards the end she's sort of crying comedically. But then, because we talked about this when Harry Met Sally, like when she's like, I'm difficult. And like, and the crying is so annoying. But in that phone call, I believed the crying.
Yes.
But then she was able to make it funny, and so it ends on sort of a funny moment. She's like, I'm okay, and she's,
I will triumph.
I will triumph. Yeah, that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
So I did wonder, why isn't she rushing to she has the new hotel information from the, the phone call, whatever.
Yeah.
But so why isn't she rushing there?
She did. Well, that's the train ride. She was supposed to be going there.
No, but don't they like walk through his hometown and stuff?
That was because they had to stop because she had the problem with the cheese.
Oh, I did not connect that.
Yeah, so she had to get off because she was having the problem with the cheese. And then they had to get another train to continue on, and while they had a layover, and that's why he's like, yeah, it's my hometown. And then the brother coming and just like beating the shit out of each other.
Yes, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and he's like, that's my brother.
And to be honest, that felt very Gerard Depardieu to me. Like that, that scene, like I feel like he's good at that kind of stuff. I said that they danced together. Oh my God, these people, Luc and Luc and Katie.
Yeah.
And I wrote, it's a little dangerous liaisons. That
I
dialogue,
could
right?
see
They're
that,
trying to romance.
Yeah.
These romance challenges to get something out of the other. And, yeah.
I liked that scene though. I liked it. Was nice. It was calm. It was you believed that they liked to be being together. Mm-hmm. It was just not. It was just nice. It was kind of comforting.
My next note is Meg Ryan's facial expressions.
Again,
and I want to say this is one of my final notes, to be honest, when I was watching it, and it's similar to Sleepless in Seattle. It's like I wrote, she truly looks like she either just smelled or
she's in pain.
Yeah, she either just smelled or heard a fart. Mm-hmm. Like it's like this it's like this like confusion. Like, do I like this? Do I not? And again, I just don't think it's real human behavior. And I know I'm very expressive. I've been told my eyebrows are crazy. I've been told my facial expressions are nuts. People know how I feel on a Zoom call. But it's like, I think this is a little different because she's giving someone that look. Like, I'll just make my facial expressions whether they're in front of me or not. But she does it, and it's like, she's sort of like, do not.
Well, I agree. It's too much. Like, when people have facial expressions, it's because they're feeling something.
Yeah.
When she does it, she's trying to communicate to somebody. Mm-hmm. And I don't really think that that's how people do it. Like, if I'm mad at you, Brian, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to give you like this mad look. I'm going to probably talk to you about why I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah. I mean, the Sleepless in Seattle thing is so unusual because she's staring at Tom Hanks while he's looking at her, and she's giving him this look
so
like, I don't know if I even find you cute. Like, that's what it came across as. And then with this stuff, it's like, she's looking at Kevin Kline, she's looking at this one, looking at that one. It's like, it's a little too much. It's a little unhinged.
I loved the break, by the way. We talked a little bit about it, going to his villa, his hometown.
I appreciated that.
I really, really, I loved it then. I love it now. I loved that up until that point, you feel like he's a loner. He doesn't have any roots. He's just like this, like, scum. Yeah. He's like a little petty thief.
Yeah.
You know, all this. And then all of a sudden, you see, like, this, I don't know if it was the father. Yeah, because he's like, Luke, and he's like, Papa. And it's like, they hug, and you're like, oh my gosh, he's all that, and he has a nice family. And then even him talking to his mother, and like, at the, you know, while they're eating at the big table. So great. Like, I wanted to be in that family. Like, they just seemed like a really nice family. And then when he brought her up to his room, and she sees his old science experiment.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes in any movie, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, I know,
she's, like,
it's a strong statement. She's smelling it.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, and then he has her take a sip of wine. Okay, what do you think now? And she's like, oh, I taste the lavender. And it was just a nice moment. I really, really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked the whole thing with them there.
Well, I like that he had goals that didn't involve stealing stuff. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like,
right, because you find out... Yes, that's when you find out the plant is something that's meaningful to him.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then my final note here, and it's kind of controversial. It's a big note, Christina. Kate moved to Canada to be with Charlie. Kate is now moving to France to be with Luc. My note is, be a woman, Kate. Woman up, Kate.
Yeah. Yep.
Does she not even... She never makes that connection. Like, I moved to another country for Charlie. I'm never making that mistake again. Like, there's never even that moment where it's like
who are you, Kate? Are you just...
you're going...
A person's wife?
She met this guy trying to win her husband back, or her fiancé back. So it's like, you're moving to another country for a guy you knew a questionable amount of time, sure. But also, you did exactly the same thing for Charlie. Yeah. And it didn't work out very well. There's do you see any red flags here? Do you not care? Like, it's really weird that it's never... It happens, I'm sure, but it's weird that it's never spoken.
Right.
There's no awareness. She has no self-awareness.
Yeah, it is kind of strange that they do that, for sure. We missed a few pieces of the movie.
Oh, shit, okay.
Her confrontation with Charlie at the beach.
Yeah, I like that.
I really liked that, too. Yeah. I thought it was really funny. Well, I thought it was funny that she kind of screws up. And I liked that part. Like, I think a lot of her physical stuff I didn't like. But when she sees him in the lobby and is hiding behind the plant or whatever, and then she accidentally falls over. I thought she did that really well.
Great.
And even just like trying to get out of the way, and she's slipping in all the desserts and crawling down the hallway.
I actually really like that.
I thought she did that really, really well.
I didn't have that note, and it's funny because the notes about the other things you said, and I said I like that too. I didn't write them down because I think I was just enjoying them. Yeah,
it's an enjoyable. I feel like it's a very enjoyable movie.
And I liked that he saw her.
I like that he saw her.
Because you would feel someone staring at you. In so many movies we have watched for this podcast where the person's being stared at from like 12 feet away and the person has no concept they're being looked at. And that's not real. Right. Like, he would have been like, wait, what? And he does. That's what he does.
He does. Yeah. And I would have liked to have seen maybe one more line of dialogue where where you know that he kind of knows that she's coming for him. Because are we to understand that Kate is getting on a plane all the way to France to get him back, and that he's talking to his mother about this new girl that he met and all this, but they're not mentioning that Kate anything? Like, I feel like it would have made more sense to me if he kind of knew, and maybe it wasn't like a whole conversation or anything like that, but something, because then it would have made more sense that he was feeling like she's around and kind of looking for her and then sees her. It would have connected it a little bit more to me. I liked that he saw her, or he thought that saw her, But I also feel like if he didn't see her right away, and you're in another country, and you didn't have that conversation with your family about Kate coming, you're in another country. Would you really automatically think, oh, I think Kate's here?
But here's the thing. Did Kate's name ever come up with them? Because I don't think that's really clarified. Like, wouldn't the mom, like, I think any mom would be like, what about Katie?
Right, that's what I mean.
No, but you're saying, I'm saying, what about Katie? Why are you leaving Katie? Wouldn't it be, I think you're saying, why didn't they tell him that Katie is headed there?
Well, any kind of conversation like that. Like, what's going on with Kate? You know, it's Kate, not Katie. Kate. What?
Oh, it is Kate. Sorry, I have an extra scribble in there.
I know. I feel like any kind of conversation would have been like, oh, well, you know, she's really upset. She's flying there. You know what I mean? Like anything like that. It just seems like a conversation because they knew that she was engaged. They were engaged. Like, obviously, we don't have any of these conversations. We don't witness any of these conversations. Right. Maybe it was said. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I did like that. And then I love how Luc was, you know, okay, we'll use this to our advantage. And, you know, he already knows he already thinks he sees you. You're already on his mind. And then we'll pounce. And I love how she plays it. I like how she's super confident and, you know, kind of like treating the French waiter a little more abruptly than she ever would have. And he's like, wow, you're so different. And she admits, yes, I came here to get you back. But then I met Luc. And now I'm thinking, you know, there is no control about anything. And I like how it was like sort of honest. Mm-hmm. I like that. It wasn't just some far-fetched scheme to get him back. There was a grain of honesty in there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed that. And I like that, like, she's, like, talking to Juliet. And she's like...
What I liked about it is that Luc wasn't, like, a buffoon. Like, he said so many times in these rom-coms where it's like, I'll pretend to be your lover. And it's like, oh, God. And it just always goes horribly wrong. Mm-hmm. And this one, it really didn't. In fact, it was, like, pretty funny how he was, like, talking to Timothy Hutton's girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. That was really good.
And I liked that they were, like, he was in bed with her, or, you know, they were about to, and then... similar, and then it didn't actually happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
On either side,
right. So, but I did, I like that whole sequence, and I believed her confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
One of the funniest lines for me was when he was like, well, what does he do? And she's like, besides be with me? I don't think he does anything. Huh. And she just kind of like, just realizes, oh, I don't think he does anything. That was really funny. And I also liked that Luc called Juliet Kate. Mm-hmm. I remember feeling so great about that. I didn't hate Juliet as much this time around. In '95, when I first watched it, I really didn't like her at all. Yeah. But now I was just like, she's like an innocent victim in all this. She's just a girl, you know, who wants to be with a boy. You know, it's like she didn't, you know, and she even says it. She's like, I didn't steal anything that didn't want to be stolen or something like that. It has like kind of a biting comment. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, do you want to take a quick break?
Yes.
All right, let's take a break. I need a little bit of a drink in more ways than one. So we will be right back.
Hey there, it's Brian.
And Christina.
And we have some exciting news. We now have bonus content on Patreon.
If you're a fan of old roommates or simply enjoy revisiting pop culture, we would love for you to check out our page at patreon.com/oldroommates. Patrons of Old Roommates can expect exclusive content such as special episodes, movie recommendations, special videos from us, and bonus content, among other things. Your support will help us to create more content, offset publishing costs, and expand our resources to improve your listening experience.
Whether you become a patron or not, we appreciate your support. Drop us a comment on social media, give us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice, or send us a message at oldroommatespod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and now, back to the show.
And we're back talking about French Kiss, my choice, my birthday choice.
Happy birthday, Christina.
Thank you, finally.
Oh
it's
my
only been
God.
an hour into the episode. So it's a movie that I have seen before and loved, and one that Brian is watching for the first time.
Yeah. And the only real other note I have is that it did over $100 million at the box office, which is huge.
That is huge.
But yeah, so very well-loved movie.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly among audiences, I did find mostly negative critic reviews, to be honest.
Oh, really?
They love Kevin Kline, but they just thought the pacing was a bit slow, and a lot of it was unbelievable. But like, it's a rom-com.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
We didn't talk about the inspector.
So I like him. Anyway,
Yeah.
as an actor, he was in The Specialist and some other things.
What did you think about that whole... Oh, sorry, go ahead. What was his name?
I like the whole, the friendship between...
Just the whole, his part in it. How'd you feel?
I liked it. And
Did you like that?
I believed it. I mean, when you have someone who, saved your life, I think that matters. And I think that, I believed it. And also, too, he knows Luc.
Yes.
He knows he's not a murderer. He's, a petty thief. And
he's trying to steer him in the right direction.
So it's throwing him in jail over and over again. He's not going to learn that way. So it's if he can maybe look out for him, have conversations with him. I bought it. I didn't think it was unbelievable or ridiculous, but I also liked that actor as well.
I liked the actor too. I liked the storyline. I thought it was a little convenient that he popped up here and there. But then he was after him, so it made it a little bit more believable.
Well, what was funny is he wasn't necessarily after him. His team was. Because you saw the team always running ahead, and then jeanreno would be the inspector would be seem like a little kid, with a balloon or something, and oh, are you okay? Purposely slowing down. Which made me laugh because there's a woman, she's part of the team, and she's wearing a skirt and a blazer.
Yeah,
it's girl, I mean, she should not be dressed that way.
No,
the guys are wearing whatever the hell they want, and they're always running. It's why would you wear that outfit to work?
But I'm wondering if they were supposed to not they didn't plan to chase him at that point in time. I think they were just interviewing the hotel.
I guess so. I guess that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but yeah, I liked him too. I struggled a little bit with the end so he talks to Meg Ryan's character and says, tells basically her the story that Luc has a stolen necklace. He has to return it or he's going to go to jail.
Yeah. And
so then she's just all right, let me give you $40,000. And I felt that was a bit much. Are you really going to give up all of your money for a stranger? They're not together. They weren't together. As far as she knew, they were never going to see each other again. Mm-hmm. They hadn't been romantic. And she was going back to Canada.
She could have said 25.
Right? I'll give you half of my savings. But it seemed a little bit unusual that she would have done that. Unless she was just forget it. I just want to wipe my hands clean and just start fresh. But how are you going to do that without $45,000?
But remember, she wasn't accessing that money. And it's she never accessed it. Do you know what I mean?
So it's something that was sort of extra.
That's the difference. It was extra. She didn't necessarily need it. It was for...
Right. It was for the house.
Which the house is not going to happen.
Right. With him,
it's not going to happen. But still, I mean, I don't know, but
it
I
seems a bit much for someone who she just met a couple days ago.
It was an extreme reaction, yes.
But I liked it. I also liked it. So aside from the fact that it's a little bit unrealistic, I still liked the fact that she did it. It was cute how they made him think. It wasn't just her giving him money for it. It was... They set up this whole sting operation in Cartier, right?
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, let me try to sell the necklace."
Yeah.
And it was this big ruse. I liked that whole, that was a little extra.
Yeah, because the inspector talked to Cartier and was like, "Can you cut a check with that? With your, you cut the check, we'll give you the money to, and they went along with that.
And then Luc thinks that she, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the grand gesture.
The grand gesture.
And a romantic comedy.
And then she ends up with it anyway because she ends up with him. So I guess it all works out. And I liked how he told him. I don't know. It was just it was a cute ending, but I just had that little bit of a problem.
glad the inspector told him.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
like, oh my God, he's just going to realize that he loves her. But it's like, but she probably won't tell him the origins of that money. And so I like that the inspector did.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
a lot
good.
of those little details I appreciated.
Yeah. And yeah, I liked it. He does walk up to her on the plane. And
so she's trying to go to her safe place. She's nervous because she's flying back to Canada. Yeah. Then he's the voice.
Yeah.
You're not nervous anymore, Kate? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Very cute. But I think she was like, I did believe, like, you know what? She wants to stay in France and do the vineyard thing because he's so passionate about it that, like, you know, and yeah.
And she enjoyed herself there.
Did. For one day or 2 days.
The one day that she was there, yeah.
Well,
who wouldn't want to live in that vineyard, though? I mean, come on. That place was gorgeous.
Whenever I'm in places like that, I've never been to France, but in other countries and things I just wonder, like, where's the nearest grocery store? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where's the nearest
everything.
bar? I know, right? So it's like that's quite the change.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's a different kind of lifestyle.
Any other notes, Christina?
I don't think so.
So I liked it.
Yay!
And how about you? More, less, about the same?
I think I really loved it before, so I think about the same.
About the same. Cool.
Yeah, I really loved it then, and I loved it now, and I'm so glad that you liked it.
Yes. I have a match game question.
Oh, wait, before you do that.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about,
We should talk about, so we have some bonus. You guys are going to love this. We're going to have some a video on our Patreon site, and Brian and I had a bit of a wine tasting, for some French wines. So we were talking about how...
Like in our house.
Yes. Yeah. In our house. In our house. Just the two of us. You'll see. Just go to patreon.com and you can see it. So we had some French wine, and in the movie, Meg Ryan was able to, like, taste some of the stuff that was in it, and she was actually had quite a little bit of a talent in that area, I think. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. And we decided to do a little bit of a wine tasting between the two of us. I said the four of us. So check it out. We have some, like, wine recommendations, and I think you'll enjoy our video.
Yeah. We'll see.
We will see.
Now, Christina,
and now we have...
Yeah, I have a real match game. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I have an FMK, so it doesn't make a difference to me. Would you rather do the FMK first, or the
Let's do
match
FMK
game?
first.
Okay.
Let's do FMK.
All right. Oop, I just lost my page. All right. So, okay. So it's a pretty obvious FMK, I think, because we only have so many characters in this movie. So I am going to give you Luc, Charlie, and Inspector Cardon. Those are your choices.
This is so damn easy.
Okay.
So damn easy. I'm done. I bet we have the same answers.
I bet we have the same answer. This is what I think you'll say.
I am going to kill Charlie.
Of course.
I am going to F the inspector.
Really?
And marry Luc.
Oh my gosh! That is not what I expected.
So here's the thing. Like, oh my God, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the inspector is just like you know, clean cut, maybe a little serious, a little serious, a little about his job, and I don't know if I even want someone with that kind of job. Mm-hmm. Whereas Luc is passionate about wine. I like wine.
But you just said you wouldn't want to live in that area.
That's fair, but it's France, and there's other places.
There's grocery stores somewhere.
You can
open up your own grocery store.
I would just order on what is it?
Amazon?
Yeah, Uber Eats or whatever the hell it's called, or Peapod.
Do they have that in France?
Sure. So, but I would marry Luc. And I think he's also fun. I think he's, like, very straightforward. And when I'm having, like, my little moments, like, he's, like, this, like, voice of stern.
So that is absolutely what I would do. Kill Charlie,
you would do that.
F Inspector, and marry Luc. But I thought you would marry the Inspector.
I liked him a lot. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Nice guy, straight guy.
Yeah, I didn't feel...
I mean, not straight, like, straight guy, but...
I didn't feel that he, like, had necessarily...
Might not have had a fun side.
A fun side.
A
fun side. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
All business, all the time.
Ready for my match game?
Yes.
It's a good one. I'm proud of myself.
I'm excited.
Okay. True match game question. Kooky Kate is still so anxious about flying.
Oh no, how anxious is she?
Thank you for asking. When the flight attendant made the announcement to please shut off all electrical devices, oh my gosh, Kate got up and shut off the blank.
Okay. Ding.
Wow. Ding.
Came right to me.
Christina, yeah, that was very quick. So, when the flight attendant made the announcement to please shut off all electronic devices, Kate got up and shut off the blank.
The airplane.
So, I almost wrote that, and I was like,
Oh
you know,
my
I know,
gosh.
but then I thought, would it be even funnier or more immediate if she shut off the PA system?
Good.
Like the microphone, yeah.
That's a good one, yes.
But
Very
we
good.
didn't match. But that was
We didn't match.
That was a great.
Yours was great, too.
Thank you.
And that's it for us in this episode of Old Roommates. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to Old Roommates on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And please give us a rating or review while you're there.
And if you're interested in more Old Roommates, including special episodes, bonus content, movie recommendations, and more, visit our Patreon page at patreon.com. That's patreon.com/oldroommates. Comments and ideas can be emailed to us at oldroommatespod@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Old Roommates.
Thanks again for listening. This is Christina.
And this is Brian. Until next time.